I know.
It's like funny.
Part of my high energy.
I get one, and you get like 4 other feeds. So far I'm seeing the red live everywhere.
There we go.
We're live in all of our venues finally. Well, welcome everybody to Monday Night Live.
Yes, the best night of the week.
Yes. And here we are, the lovely Kate Simmons. I'm Dean Nixon. We are here in St. George, Utah.
Yes.
And we are TurningLeaf Health and Wellness out of St. George, Utah. We are super stoked to join you tonight and to be able to go through some really cool ideas and concepts. We've had an amazing couple of weeks, but man, it's been an amazing. January was great.
It flew. We were busy. We did a couple of different seminars. We had a workshop. We hustled around here at TurningLeaf.
It was a great beginning of the year. Great beginning of the year, and exactly how we wanted to start. And we got a lot of information out there, and really got our lives going and all of things. We've got some really cool things started up. We've got the Awakening Level 1 seminar group. So anybody out there that's watching. We are now doing every Tuesday night.
Every Tuesday night at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. a group. So if you've completed the first of the seminars, the first of 4 seminars, if you've attended that seminar, the group is free. It's every Tuesday night. You can come and participate and get your refresher and participate and really rub shoulders with people of like mind.
And it's been really fun. I get the opportunity to kind of lead out on that with guest appearances by Dean Nixon whenever he gets to do so.
And I'm not chained to my desk.
Right. Oh, but it's been really, really cool because we just follow the principles and the timeline in the seminar and just kind of review them and like really see how they have worked out in your personal lives. We're calling it Move Your Feet because it really is designed to help keeping you to move your feet forward. Keeping you? Wow. It's Monday.
Yes, you did great. At
the
end of Monday, that was well said. And it is one of those things. We do have a Facebook page for those of you that are that have also completed it. You can ask to be a part of that. And if you have applied, if you've already been through that seminar process, if you've been through level 1, then you'll be included in that group. And then there will be constant updates and outreaches in that will keep you informed.
Yeah, connected and moving your feet. So that Facebook group is also called Move Your Feet if you want to look for and find it.
Yep.
So can I give a little tease, Dean? Is that okay with you?
Yes, let's do it.
Because I've been working really, really, really hard, and hopefully we're going to get it launched. Not hopefully. I'm launching it on the new moon on Thursday. We are starting a monthly membership program that we're calling TurningLeaf Exclusive, and look forward to details soon. It's going to include a lot of really, really incredible things like a themed email, a live Zoom call with you and I for topic conversation, as well as live question and answers, a monthly meditation that I'll be doing, which will be $10 to the community. But if you're part of the TurningLeaf Exclusive, it's free to you. And then if you're not local, I will be sending you an audio recording of the meditation and just perks and bonuses and all sorts of cool stuff. So look for that.
Readings, all sorts of things that are going to be a part of it. I'm very excited about this.
It's
been something
coming.
that we've been working on for a while. And to be able to have this for people that are wanting to keep moving forward. And this is why we've done it is we keep getting constantly being asked, how do I keep moving forward? Right. Do you have a newsletter? Do you have something I can engage in monthly that is super easy for me to participate in on my schedule, on my, what the time frame I can work within, because everybody has different schedule. And this is it. This is the answer to that. And so we're very excited. It's an opportunity for other coaches like Joyce. Hello, Joyce. To jump in and be able to collaborate and be able to allow other coaches to kind of provide nutrition for their people and keep their people with their feet moving as well. So it's a collaborative opportunity for a lot of us in a lot of different ways. And as we're moving forward into 21.
Yes. So let's talk about the Super Bowl, shall we?
I love talking about the Super Bowl.
when we were talking about tonight about what we could bring to you as part of our, hi Joyce, she's like, yay. What we could kind of bring as our topic of conversation right here around the water cooler or the dinner table, wherever you happen to find yourself right now.
Right.
I said, well, why don't we talk about Tom Brady?
Yes.
And not just simply because he's handsome.
That's
for
what
all of
she
you
wants
who
to
think
talk
that he's
about
handsome, like I do.
Yeah. Me, I'm just a big fan. I've been a fan since he took over for Drew Bledsoe, and watching it. I am a Bronco fan.
Okay.
A Denver Bronco fan, but I am secondly, I'm a Tom Brady fan. So whatever team he's playing on is my second
You're
team.
cheering, huh?
Yeah.
But not to just belabor the Super Bowl point, which, by the way, it was a really fun game if you were able to catch it.
Depending on
who you're rooting for. If you were a Chiefs fan, probably not so much. But
right.
however, I'm just really, really impressed with the fact that consistently Tom Brady puts out an incredible product. Like if you want to look at it that way.
Well,
right?
That's absolutely how you want to look at it.
Yeah. And so in talking about that, I was like, well, how could we turn that into a Monday Night Live, Dean? And you said
consistency of character.
Yes, consistency of character. So if you can remember last week, we kind of led with what a value-based life coach is, how to like include value-based living as just part of your everyday experience, being a human on planet Earth and really creating the life that you want. And that consistency of character, I think, speaks right into that value-based living.
Right. Yeah. Consistency of character is such a powerful thing. And that's where we can be consistently who we are in every venue that we are in. And that's the one thing, as you were talking, and this is where I think a lot of people, especially those of you that are football fans like myself, to be able to sit back and watch what Tom Brady was able to do, where he was able to go from not only a different NFL football team, but to actually go into a totally different conference. So there's the American Football League and the National Football League that make up the full NFL itself. And in these two divisions, Tom Brady has dominated in the AFC for a long period of time. And to be able to not only leave the Patriots and go to the Buccaneers, but he was also able to go into a totally different conference and come from a wild card position and go all the way to the end and walk away with a Super Bowl trophy. And so how do you do that? Well, you do that with the consistency of character. And so what he's been able to do through the years is he's been able to be the same person every day. And he's done it by taking care of his emotional health, his mental health, his physical health, his social health. And he's been able to stay on top of these things. And if you ever follow him on Instagram or any of his feeds, you will see that his number one focus is his family, his children, his wife. And that is a huge push and focus for him. Second is his mental game and how he's constantly working the mental strength and mental strength. He has negative people talking about him all the time. And he's talking about all of these, they're always dogging on him, but he can block out the negativity because he knows what he's moving forward. So one of the things that we've been talking about a lot recently is being a creator.
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest things is when you have a focus in your life, when you know where you're headed and you know what you're creating, it makes it easy for you to be consistent. Does that make sense? So he's been able to attach all of his energy and all of his focus to being successful, but not just on the football field.
Right. And that ability, I love how you're talking about everything that he does for his mental health, right? Like his mental capacity to be able to do that. Joyce over here, Joyce is just killing it over here on Dean's Facebook, by the way, if you're not on that one, but she's like mental. And I loved that. That popped in and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so incredible. And when you were speaking, it reminded me of all of the different research experiences and like, what do they call that in science? Like when they data gathering and stuff like that, where they have individuals who like a free throw example, like people that are assigned to just specifically do a free throw, just physically do it, practice it, practice it. A whole nother group of people are not to do anything, not think about it, not do it, not nothing, just like go home and then show back up to try to get as many free throws as you can. And then a separate group of people just imagine themselves doing
visualization.
Yeah, that visualization piece. And that I love that you brought that in as far as consistency of character and keeping your mind in what it is that you want to create.
Right. Yeah. And so you're referring to one of the things Joe Dispenza that we talked a lot about in Becoming Supernatural. He talks about this very thing with strength and muscle. You know, he talks about weightlifting, and the people that were visualizing themselves lifting weights actually had and not a significant, but an increase in muscle mass. Those that did nothing had in a decrease, and those that were working out obviously had an increase in muscle mass. But his point was those that were able to visualize it were actually able to create muscle mass just by believing and seeing and doing it. So that is one of the big pieces, and the mental part of it. And I love how you put it, Joyce, fun, mentals. It's all about the mental game and the ability to stay focused on what it is that you want to create. We know that a lot of our mental health, we talk a lot about it. I'm grateful, actually, believe it or not, the NFL is really pushing mental health right now, which thankfully is happening. And we've got to stay on top of this mental health side of us. Our mental health drives our emotional health, and our emotional health drives our physical health. So if we really kind of see the priorities of those and keep those in a priority situation, then it moves us forward. But the way that we stay consistent in our character, this is the part that's really mind-blowing. The way to stay in a consistency of character is to know where you're going and know what you're creating. You've got to have a focus. You've got to have that. And so when we talk about that in our coping skills, and we have the 8 essential coping skills, number one, focus. It's all about what we choose to focus on. Our focus allows us to keep that consistency in venue. What is it that we're trying to create? How do we want the world to look? Now, here's the problem. We talk about this as reactors or creators. And as we get into this reactors are trying to create a life based upon the way it's supposed to look. And I see this a lot in social media. I'll see people that get on social media and they'll see other people doing their little selfie poses and doing all these other things. The next thing you know, you see them doing it in their feeds and in their poses, because in their mind, that's the way it's supposed to look. So that's the difference between an imitator and an innovator. And if we start to recognize that if I know where I'm going and I'm doing it because it's sincerely true to who I am, I'm creating the world that I want, that's innovative. But if I'm doing it because I should, or the way it should look, or the way it looks to everybody else, now I'm an intimidator or imitator.
I'm not going to get there either.
It took me a minute. I am an imitator. And when I get into that imitating things, I'm not really genuine. I'm easily pulled off course because I'm not following mine. I'm following somebody else's. And that's what I love about what Tom Brady has done. Tom Brady has outlined his curriculum. He's outlined his core of what he's going to do and how he's going to create it, regardless of the feedback, regardless of the pushback, and he moves forward. As a consequence of that, you know, here we are, 7 Super Bowls later, 10 Super Bowl appearances, and 43 years old, and he's probably going to be back next year for another Super Bowl ring at this rate.
I just think it's just completely incredible. And I love, Dean, that you brought in that authenticity piece, right? Because when we are pulled from what it is that we're wanting to create and the vision that we have, right? Like, so for Brady, it's like that ring, right? And the consistency for that and showing up for his team and being a quarterback and leading his team to victory, whatever you've chosen to do in your life as your focus and what it is that you're wanting to create. When we look for, and I think there's a difference. I know my brain's a little bit all over the place today.
Here we
go. Just the Monday.
You're good.
There's a very big difference between looking to others to help navigate you, like mentors or others that maybe are ahead of you on the path that you really want to be on, there's nothing wrong with looking towards that kind of northern star to be able to help navigate. But it's completely another thing to shift your focus off whatever it is that you're trying to create and want to create because of what it is that the messaging that you're getting that you should be doing, right? And that's what you were talking about as far as the imitators, right?
It's the why.
Yeah, it's totally the why.
It's the why. It's if I'm going to climb Mount Everest, I'm going to climb it for me, but that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to abandon every other map that shows me the best way to the top. I may follow the exact same trail that somebody else has gone, but I'm going to do it on my pace. I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to do it what's healthy for me and my body.
Right.
And so, yes, I may use the same trail and it may look the same. And I may have to look to other people that have been to the top of Everest as a cautionary tale and as inspiration. Those things are all a part of my why.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately, what is my focus? Why am I doing it? What is it going to create for me? I think one of the most powerful moments for me, and I saw some people it kind of showed up a couple times in our social media feeds, which I think is amazing, was at the end of the Super Bowl, and you see Tom Brady really embracing his family. But the one that was really cool to me was when he won the NFC title, the National Conference title. And one of the first things he did is he ran up to the stands, because he was not a home field advantage. He was at an away game, and he ran to the stands to embrace his son.
Aww.
And that was the first thing and the first person he went to. So he's showing you his priorities. Tom's showing you his why. His why isn't to win Super Bowls. His why is to be a good man and a good father who wins Super Bowls. And that's a difference.
Right. And like you were saying, it's that consistency of character, not just in the football game,
right,
but also off, that continues to move him forward to greatness, really.
Right.
And the beautiful part is that we can all do that.
Yes.
We just have to really get into our authentic self and understand our whys and where it is that we want to go and create, not in a reactionary way, and then consistently choose to move yourself in that direction in every avenue of your existence.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's powerful beyond belief.
We talk a lot about, in the last few episodes, we've been talking about where the resistance shows up. And this is another great time to bring that into the equation, is when you get your why and you know what it is that you're headed towards and where you're moving, when the resistance starts to show up, how do you respond to that resistance is also about a consistency of character. Are you going to fold like a lawn chair when you hit the resistance and head for the couch, or hide away from criticism, or are you going to make mistakes, or are you going to just pick yourself up and push on through? And I'll never forget that turning point. One of the major turning points for me was about 25, I want to say 23 years ago. I had an opportunity to go to a speaking forum and compete. And I was at the beginning of my career. I was, still kind of trying to figure out who I was and where I was going. So I guess it wasn't 25. It was probably, maybe, I don't even remember anymore. But I just remember bombing. I remember sitting at this speaking forum, competing with other speakers. And when it was my turn to get up, I got up and I went and I spoke and I bombed. I tanked so bad. And I remember going and sitting down afterwards, and this gal sitting behind us leans forward and she's like, "What was your point?" It was like a dagger to the heart. And I remember going home and I really just sat there for hours. It really just took the wind out of my sails. And in a lot of ways, it pushed me to the brink of I can't do this. There's no way I can't do this. And I remember getting to that one moment where I finally got mad enough, and it took me about 4 hours to kind of pull myself out of this. And I finally got mad enough, and I just thought, I don't care. I don't care that I bombed. I don't care what she said. I've got to keep moving forward because this is what I want to create. And there is that why that drives you through defeat, that drives you through criticism, that drives you through all of that stuff. And you've got to find out what that is and push forward and use that to motivate you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just love that. Knowing too that the resistance, that falling flat on your face sometimes is part of the creation of whatever epicness you're going to be able to create.
Right.
Because without those resistance pieces and without those places where really it's just kind of finding those areas that you need to either invest some more time in and create some more talent and skill around, or what doesn't work for you, you know, like you'll discover what doesn't work for you in your creation process. So I know it sounds insane, but sometimes you get to the point where not experiencing a win is equally and or more valuable when you fail, right? It gives you a lot of stuff to really work from. And being able to really give you some more of those anchor points into why it is that you are doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because without that failure, you wouldn't have such a strong emotional experience of, no, I can do this. I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And the more that you have those experiences and get up and push through it, the braver you become. It doesn't mean it gets easier. I can tell you, a lot of people are surprised. You know, here I sit, 23, 24 years later after that experience, and I still get nervous. I still get anxious before I get up and speak in front of a group of people. And I've been doing it for years, but that's just a part of the human process. But having that catastrophic failure right up front, really was one of those foundational stones that gave me the ability to go, I can do this. If I have to, I can just keep getting up and keep moving forward.
Right. So here's the challenge, y'all. If you don't know what your why is, or you haven't figured out your focus, or if you are not really quite sure where your authentic center is and how to create all of that consistency of character, dive into those places that we've talked about today. If you want some help, come on in. We would love, love, love to experience you and to be able to help move you forward on the life that you want to go through.
Message us.
Yes.
Reach out. We're right here.
We are right here. And I just get so excited about this kind of stuff because I know that you feel this way too. We just believe in you. We know that there is nothing that you can't do. And if you put your heart to it and follow through consistently with that character piece and your focus and being a creator and not a reactor, magic is what will happen. And we would love to be able to witness that. So
let's celebrate with you.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you. Joyce says, are you doing Zoom coach calls? Absolutely.
All the time.
Absolutely, darling.
All the time, especially right now. So we've got clients that are all over the U.S. and some out of the country.
Yes.
I know Kate's got some that are in foreign countries, actually. So we do a lot of Zoom all over and Zoom conferences, the whole deal.
Yes.
So, yes. Thank you, Joyce, for that question.
Joyce.
Well, you guys are awesome. We are way over time. Thank you, as always. Please like and share our videos. It helps get the message out to help other people be inspired.
Yes, and we love you. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next Monday Night Live.
There it is.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, dear.
I can't remember where that one is.